Neil's back. We're going to start a second round, and I recognize myself for 5 minutes. I want to follow up on the carrots and sticks related to trying to change some of the behavior here. When we look at the penalties, that could be a potential deterrent. If you could stay 364 days, and that only means that once you're told to leave, or if you leave on your own, you just can't come back for 3 years. If you stay a little bit longer, you can come back for 10 years. Coming over the land border illegally a second time is a felony. Do you feel, Mr. Wagner, that the penalties are appropriate to deter this action? And then secondly, as I look at some of these charts, I think about like carrots and sticks to countries. I mean, we have some countries on here that have rates of 75.21% overstays from Eritrea. Let's see, I mean, some of them are in the high 20s and the 40s, 56.86 for Afghanistan, 67% from Liberia. I mean, if 77% of the individuals that are given a visa are overstaying, are we coordinating with the State Department to have some country-specific sticks in order to deter continuing behavior like this? Because obviously it's not working.
Yeah, so we've provided the overstay report to the Department of State. We've had that discussion with them. I know they've shared it with their posts, those kinds of numbers, and I know we've shared it with our field locations that these are the countries that have very high overstay rates. So scrutinize travelers with those passports a little closer with that in mind, that they have very high overstay rates.
But there, I mean, there's no, obviously the State Department's not here, but and there needs to be other tools, from my view, of like, hey, country X, get your act together, or you're no longer going to be granted visas. Because if you're having a 70+% overstay rate, I mean, there's got to be some sort of carrot, and there's other diplomatic and economic tools for them to actually tighten up their process at in the country level. How about the individual penalties? What do you think about the individual penalties?
I mean, we enforce them as the legislation permits. I mean,
right. No, I know. I'm just asking if you think it's an appropriate deterrent, or if anybody's got any thoughts on that. Obviously, with 700,000+ people blowing them off, perhaps we need to be looking into that here to tighten those up. Mr. Settles, I want to talk about resources. You said you don't have adequate resources. How many HSI agents are there total, and how many are focused on visa overstays? What subset?
Thank you. The numbers change, and we're trying to hire. We have about 6,500 agents. And for the last few years, we've dedicated, I think, somewhere between 600,000 and 700,000 hours towards overstay enforcement, if that gives you, because that's how we measure.
How is that as a percentage of total man hours? I'm just trying to get a sense of percentage of effort.
I would have to take it back. I think it's around 3%.
Okay. So I'm hearing that you feel you need additional agents and resources to be able to adequately enforce this and prioritize it.
Well, yes, ma'am. I mean, obviously with more, we could do more. I mean, but I would say that we are currently going through a big hiring push, which is very good for us. And that's something we're working on right now. We have a task force. We're doing these super one-stops, where the agents, potential agent candidates coming in. It's almost like the military back when they had, when you were called up for the draft, you go through each phase all at the same time, from an interview and a physical and doing the physical fit test. That moves us along a lot quicker. So we are doing those throughout the country.
Got it, thanks. You back? You have a second round?